It's time now for Artist Spotlight with Ashley Meservey.
I really like playing bluegrass, like old style bluegrass. I enjoy that. I've done a lot of that over the years. I started playing the guitar when I was around 11 maybe. And my grandfather, who grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, gave me a guitar and kind of got me started on my first chords. When I was young, maybe a late teens, and I was playing bluegrass and learning to pick, my great uncle, who lives in the mountains in North Carolina, came down once and he asked me to play for him. And I played, and I remember he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "You can't fool the pickers." And it was his gentle, loving way of saying, "You're not as good as you think you are." These days I carry my phone, and if I have an idea, I just sort of sing it into my phone. And then I just kind of chip away at it. Over the years, I've learned the process of adding to it. You know, I kind of say if I can get a 3-note melody or 3 notes, I can usually build a whole song around that, as long as those 3 notes are interesting. I'm not a huge fan of recording the more modern techniques of layering and doing things over and over and this and that. Like, everything's recorded separately, everything's layered, everything's edited to be perfect with computers, and basically that destroys the sound. I don't like the sound of things on a grid on a computer rhythmically to make everything perfectly on a grid. I'm one of those guys who says the first take's the best take, you know what I mean? And I've been in the studio and I've done 20 takes and then kept the first one. I've worked at it a long time, and I find that if you're thinking, you're stinking. So I try not to think about anything. I only do it one way, where I will go in with musicians and we'll play everything one time through, and that's the recording. And so we'll go in and play 10, 15 songs, 1 take each. That's the recording. Like, I just want to hear a good band play a good performance. The ins and outs of the notes and the chords and the songs aren't really as important as overall emotional output. That's what I feel audiences pick up. So I feel like if you want an audience to have a good time, the musicians need to have a good time. And that's gonna portray that to the audience more than, hey, my notes sound great, or hey, this solo's killer, or whatever, you know, this song's amazing. I don't feel like it's on that level. It's on a much deeper level where you're conveying your emotions to the audience and they pick up on that and they share those emotions. I feel like country and bluegrass and just, you know, kind of acoustic music, which that kind of gets clumped into, is actually really popular right now. So as things become more complex and technologically advanced, I feel like there's a retreat into the past and simplicity with a box of wood with some strings on it that never changes. I feel like that's comforting to some people.